Thank you to the organizers for the invitation to present the progress of the MIAPPE initiative. My presentation is done on behalf of many people who were involved at different stages and different aspects of minimum information about the plant phenotyping experiment development. Many of them are present in this room, and we'll also have some presentations and workshop later this week, whereas I will give a brief overview of what happens in terms of MIAPPE activities right now. Please let me start with putting MIAPPE in the context of FAIR data. To get our data findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable, we need to satisfy a number of conditions, some of which are more technical or general, like using protocols or identifiers, whereas some others are more domain-specific and related to provision of rich metadata, accurate and relevant attributes according to the domain-relevant community standards, or using adequate vocabularies. And this is where we see MIAPPE fit in FAIR by giving guidelines about how to cope with plant phenotypic data. So MIAPPE is basically a checklist of attributes that are assumed to be necessary to describe plant phenotyping experiment with respect to different aspects. It is based on other existing metadata standards and divided in like two types of attributes. The ones basic attributes are common to all phenotyping experiments, and some others extended attributes are specific to special cases of phenotyping. And the expectation is that this list can be used by researchers, data curators, and managers to make sure that the right metadata for the experiments is tracked, recorded, and made available to the users, other researchers, to be able to properly interpret and integrate the data to contribute to the interoperability. So the project, the initiative of MIAPPE was started in TransPLANT and PPN projects between 2011 and 2015. And the idea was published in two papers, the idea and the solution. And then subsequently it was registered at BioSharing website, nowadays renamed to FairSharing. And most of the information can be found on our homepage, miappe.org. Now, following the previous PhenoHarmonies workshop, an open meeting of the MIAPPE community was organized at IPK Gattersleben to discuss the future of MIAPPE, and it was decided that it should continue as project-independent initiative with multiple stakeholders, and the steering committee was elected that consists of representatives of different initiatives and platforms like Elixir, Emphasis, and CGIAR. And this committee is supposed to supervise the evolution of the standard. One of them being the revision proposed by the Accelerate project, who worked on improvement of the description and usability of MIAPPE, proposed some more detailed recommendations about which ontologies to use to annotate data, and generalized some of the attributes or sections to better suit the needs of observational studies. This proposal was put online to request for comments, and the steering committee is now gathering and collecting the feedback. I think Cyril will say something more about this tomorrow. And another perspective that might be coming is improvement of sensor descriptors and environmental variables, which are linked to high-throughput phenotyping experiments done in installations and platforms in the frame of big phenotyping projects. So we want to improve the data quality and interoperability by being MIAPPE compliant. And what does it mean to be MIAPPE compliant? For datasets, it's to consist all the necessary attributes in the description of a dataset, either in the form of free text description or some more structured formats, which is of course more usable and sensible, like flat tabular files or RDF data graphs. Then when it comes to databases and repositories, they can be MIAPPE compliant either by using MIAPPE compliant datasets and structures internally, or by being able to import and export such data which can be also used by some other tools and web services like MIAPPE. There might be other tools for validation and analysis taking advantage of the MIAPPE described attributes. Now, let me focus quickly on a few of them, of those implementations of MIAPPE compliant resources. So, as Elizabeth said, tabular files are still one of the basic formats. So, ISA model was chosen as a reference MIAPPE compliant tabular format. Now the model is also serializable as ISA JSON. And together with the developers of this format, Oxford eResearch Center group from University of Oxford, we've come up with a plant phenotyping configuration that is a mapping between MIAPPE and ISA model, and also allows to create and validate the data sets with the help of special tools developed by Oxford. Now, a new development that is important is a semantic model, semantic representation of the MIAPPE checklist. This is a work in progress that was started last year after the meetings here in Montpellier and in Lisbon in RDA project. And the goal is to provide an explicit semantics between MIAPPE attributes in order to enable publishing directly RDF data, or for other implementations to refer directly to MIAPPE concepts, and this way facilitate MIAPPE compliance. And one of the main motivations here is to improve the alignment between MIAPPE and BRAPPE. There are a number of databases that declare MIAPPE compliance or willingness to be MIAPPE compliant, and work in progress. MIAPPE is also part of the guidelines of RDA with data interoperability working group with respect to plant phenotypes. And we tried to promote it also to the publishers, for example, in the SafeSD workshop on scholarly dissemination in the web conference this year. Most of the development is available on our GitHub repositories and also through the main homepage, miappe.org. I encourage everyone to go to these resources and follow them. And also, if you can, please contribute to the development of the standard and implementation of the recommendations. And also, please let us know if there are other resources or MIAPPE-related activities that should be mentioned, either in this presentation or in the resources. Thank you very much for your attention.